I'm Chris Fox, and I'm trying to be an artist in Southern Arizona. One of the things that I love most about art, and especially, I guess, what you might consider higher art, but I think it kind of transcends all bits and pieces of the world of visual creativity, is the telling of a story. From my perspective, in order to be art, it has to have some sort of story, or at least create some sort of story. It doesn't necessarily have to be created with intent to have a story. It needs to invoke an emotion that tells some sort of story. Artists like Arthur Rackham, who basically told the story of Alice in Wonderland through pictures, and this was long before Disney ever got their hands on it.
My goodness. We'll have to look into this.
That is taking a story that exists and applying art to it. But then there's also like the concepts of taking like this grand idea and boiling it down into a visual piece. Artists like Hieronymus Bosch, who had these kind of like ideas of what the world was outside of our own, and he created that. It's so interesting because there's something to delve into, and even if you don't know the story that he's trying to tell, there's still a story there that's created by your looking at it. It doesn't have to come from the artist. A lot of times it just comes from the reaction to it. And that's what I love about this medium. That's what I love about visual art, is that it tells some sort of story. We've all had the COVID experience, I guess you might call it. You know, living through a pandemic is something that's bizarre. The plague doctor and the leather mask are synonymous with pandemic and plague, right? But what's interesting is it's more about the idea of Momento Mori, which is, it's actually a Latin phrase meaning, remember, you must die. A lot of people look at that as a negative thing. And what's interesting about Momento Mori is it's more of a uplifting concept, at least in my perspective, because it's the idea that, remember, you must die. You need to do what you want to do. You need to start creating YouTube videos. You need to paint that, epic piece that you were looking at. You need to write that song. Whatever thing is that you're hesitating to do, Momento Mori says, you better fucking do it. Because if you don't, you might run out of time. Our time is limited on this planet. It's short. And so that's the whole point of this piece. It's loud and brazen, and yet weirdly happy with the pink and the yellow. It's Momento Mori. Everything must end. Whether you like it to or not, everything will end. And that's okay. So, with all the work that I put into this thing, it's one of the larger canvases that I've worked on in a while, and I'm pretty pumped to show you. This is Everything Must End. So that's it. If you like what you've seen, please hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the little bell, because Momento Mori, if you don't do it today, you might not get to do it tomorrow. And no matter how you feel, good, bad, whatever, just remember, everything will end. Even this video.